Welcome back to Cults, Crimes, and Spirits. I'm Nina.
And I'm Andrea.
And this week, we're diving into some haunted schools.
I'm excited for this week's episode.
Me too.
I love when we do this.
So, Andrea and me both did research on some schools. I don't know what she did. She doesn't know what I did. We can't see each other's notes. So, this is going to be fun.
Yes. You might also hear some thunder in the background as I'm speaking. I think it thundered, actually. It's been storming off and on all day here, so I apologize.
Yay. Well, that actually kind of makes the perfect setting for what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it makes it a little creepier.
Creepy. Yeah.
You might hear a big, boom. I don't know. I can't sound like thunder. I tried.
So, how was the Post Malone concert?
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It didn't rain on us, thank God. And
yeah, that's good.
He played really old stuff and then new stuff and everything in between. So you got a variety from almost every album. So that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I knew every song, of course.
Did you lose your voice?
No, almost though. It felt a little raspy, but I didn't completely lose it.
Yeah.
And he did end up wearing cut off booty jorts.
I saw in the video.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
And he was wearing some Atlanta t-shirt, and then he took that off at some point and threw it into the crowd, and I was like, I wish I could have caught that. Oh my god.
No.
But he puts on a really good show. It was really fun. I think my mom had a really good time too.
That's good.
We got souvenir drinks of his wine, Mason No. 9, and I was talking to the bartender and I was like, I've been trying to find this, but every time I go they act like they don't know what I'm talking about. She was like, here, I'll let you try a little bit before I make your mixed drink, and I was like, thank you. So I had a little tasting of the wine by itself before it was added with this strawberry lemonade twist thing.
Was it good wine?
It was. Love wine. It was good. And you got this souvenir cup for the tour, so
mm-hmm. You said it was a shake.
It's a shaker, yeah. So it's a cup That's with cool. a lid, and then it has a little shot glass you put on top, and then you can shake your drink and take the shot glass off and either pour it into a shot or just pour the whole thing into a cup, and your drink's all mixed.
That's pretty nice.
It was a big party, I knew it would be.
Yeah, just like you knew it would be.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad y'all had a good time.
We did, and I'll have to post some videos of some of it. He did talk about the 27 Club, so I'll show that. That was kind of crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy because that was our 5th episode.
I think so.
Yeah, we're already losing track.
I know we're far in. Old. But yeah, it was fun. If he comes back, which I'm sure, hopefully, he will.
Everybody comes to Atlanta.
I'll try to get a little closer, so I can be with the diehard fans,
The Post Malone cult.
Yeah, the culties.
All right, so first up on the Haunted Schools roster.
Dun dun dun.
Bristol, Tennessee High School.
Not too far from home.
Me and Andrea are both from Abingdon, Virginia. We were both born in Abingdon, Virginia. And Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia is only about a 20-30 minute drive from Abingdon.
Not too far.
So, no, not far at all. So, Bristol, Tennessee High School is known as the home of the Vikings, and it may also be home to some ghosts.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
That sounds spooky.
So it was built in 1939, and this school, so I was always jealous of this school. When I was going to high school, I kind of wished I went to high school there because it has this cool ass stone castle attached to it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
If I can, I'll try to get down there and take a picture sometime this week and post it to social media if I have time, because it is just, it's so cool. And there's also an 8,000 seat arena at that school that was added in 1977, I believe. And a lot of cool artists come there to play shows. And when I was in high school, I was actually fortunate enough to get to go to one of those shows, and it was Papa Roach and Hinder played at that school.
No
And
way.
yes, that's where I saw them, and I didn't really care about Hinder. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not a huge fan of Hinder.
Mm-hmm.
So two of our other cousins actually won tickets uh, from a radio contest to this concert, and they asked my mom and me if we wanted to buy tickets and go with them because they didn't want to go by themselves. And so my mom was like, "Do you want to go see Hender?" And I was like, "No, not really."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Well, it's Hender and some roach people." And I was like, "Papa Roach?"
Some
And she
roach
was like,
people.
she was like, "I don't know." And at the time, that was like the only artist that I knew of that had like Roach in their name. So I looked it up and I was like, hell yeah, I want to go
Were
because
you
I love Papa
screaming,
Roach.
cut my life into pieces?
Oh yeah,
This is my
this
last
is my last
resort.
resort. Yeah, I love that. And so that was cool. Like nothing cool like that happened at our high school.
Yeah.
So you know,
That's cool you got to go and like experience it. And you actually went on the grounds of at least the stadium.
yeah. And I didn't see any ghost that I know of while I was there,
But you're
but
probably more focused on Papa Roach or them roach
yeah,
people.
Jacoby Shaddix. That's what I was focused on because
Yeah, he used to host Scarred.
he's a fine piece of work. Okay. Anyways, back to the ghost.
Yes.
So, the most famous ghost of this school is said to be that of a girl named Agnes.
Wow, very old person name.
I was finding conflicting results on how she supposedly died while I was doing research.
Mm-hmm.
So, Agnes, who is not her real name, because they didn't know her name.
Yeah.
They just started calling her that because people were seeing apparition of a young girl uh, in the school, but they would only see her in the old parts of the school. So like this Bristol, Tennessee high school has been added on to multiple times over the years. So Agnes supposedly only appears in the older parts of the building.
Makes sense.
So there seems to be one common consensus on Agnes's death, and that is that she died on class night.
Mm-hmm.
But then the story, like I said, changes. So she either died after a wild night of partying on class night and was found dead in the school swimming pool, or she drowned somewhere else nearby. But either way, she drowned. That's one way
Yeah.
that she supposedly died. The other way, she was on her way like to or from class night and she was killed in an accident, like an automobile accident. That's two drastically different things, so I don't know, but there you go.
Yeah.
But I was able to find an article from K through 12 Drive from 2016. They talked to one of the teachers at the school, and he was also an advisor for the school newspaper. And he told them that the student reporters did some research to try to uncover Agnes's real identity. And they think that the legend of Agnes is actually based on a young girl named Norma, who was a former student and who did actually drown. But it didn't say where she drowned. It didn't say if it was in the school swimming pool or elsewhere. But it did say that Norma died in the 1950s. And and I'm not entirely sure, but I think that the school didn't have a swimming pool until like the 80s
Okay.
or later. So
Yeah.
if I'm right about that, she couldn't have died at the school.
Yeah.
So, but apparently she is based on a real person, and they think that it is Norma, not Agnes. So, Agnes is the most famous ghost that haunts the school. I guess the person that they see the most.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another ghost that also haunts the school, and that is the ghost of a former athlete. So I couldn't find anything about what sport this athlete supposedly played.
No way.
I couldn't find a name to like do research to see if like this accident happened. So I
Yeah.
it's one of the legends of the school. So this star athlete of a sport that is unknown was supposedly walking home after a game one night and was struck by a car and killed. And his spirit then returned to the school. Not sure why you'd want to go back to high school,
Yeah.
but his spirit
Ew.
returned to the school and has been hanging out in the field house when games are going on. So like people see him when games are happening at the school only in the field house area. Like he doesn't go
Yeah,
elsewhere.
past that. Yeah.
Yeah. So not sure who this
That's spooky.
mysterious guy is, but yeah.
2 ghosts,
Yeah.
1 school so far.
So far. So this next one is actually pretty interesting. Um, the next spirit that is said to haunt Bristol, Tennessee High is actually not that of a human.
Hmm? It's an animal?
No, not even an animal. It's the spirit of a train.
No
A
way.
steam engine train, yes.
That's crazy.
It is said that a phantom train rolls and speeds down the hallways at night, disappearing into the
In the school?
yeah, in the
In
school.
the school?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And it disappears into like the gymnasium or the auditorium, and it supposedly makes so much noise when it happens that it can shake the whole building. That
That's
like
insane.
janitors and people that have been
Yeah,
inside after
nope.
dark have said it like shakes the whole building.
I would freak the fuck out.
And it's speculated that at one time there was a railroad that once passed through the site where the school now stands. But, like, again, I couldn't confirm that. There is a railroad nearby, so it is possible that maybe back in the day that it did cut through there, but I don't know. But I thought that was pretty interesting. A
That is
train, a
crazy.
ghost train.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So that's Bristol, Tennessee High School.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first school. What's yours? Let's go.
All right. So, my first school that I picked was Cathedral High School, which is in LA, I believe. When I was doing research, it said Chinatown and LA, and I don't know California that well,
Mm-hmm.
so I just went with LA. But it's one of the most well-known haunted schools in the area, and it actually has been in operation since 1925, but before it was even built, it was the site of the city's first
Cathedral.
Catholic cemetery.
Oh, okay. Not what I thought you were going to say, but yeah. All right.
Yeah, okay.
You got it out there.
I did, finally. The Calvary Cemetery opened November 3rd in 1844, and it once held the remains of members of LA's most prominent early families. And it was also kind of the final resting place for pioneer families, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting that you say pioneer families, because that has a connection to one of my stories. But
what's up? The universe is always connected. Cheers. As I drink out my pioneer mug. But by the end of the 19th century, it was shut down. The cemetery was.
Okay, that's another eerie connection to my story, but continue.
And if you're a baseball fan, wait, that doesn't make sense. I'd have to say that later. Hold on.
The cemetery was shut down. But if you're a baseball
the cemetery was shut down. And those that were buried there were moved to the new Calvary Cemetery just east of downtown. About roughly 10,000 of the city's residents were buried there.
Damn.
So a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
So in the last days before it closed, the Calvary Cemetery had to deal with a lot of grave robbers stealing almost any and everything. They looked for valuables, they vandalized the graveyard, and
sounds like
there's
LA
also
now.
Yeah. There was also a problem with a lot of lost records and a lot of lost bodies. When they were moving people to the new... Yeah, so a lot of shit got lost. But if you're a baseball fan, the current site of the Cathedral High School is built in the shadow of the Dodger Stadium. So it's kind of close by to the Dodger Stadium.
That's cool.
But yeah, I thought that was cool because I know who the Dodgers are.
And you like baseball.
Yeah. But throughout the school's history, there's been different there's been different renovations and construction that has led to the school's unearthing of buried tombstones and even a fucking coffin.
Mm.
It's likely that there's still random burials beneath the school's football field and parking lots, and it just thundered really loud.
Oh my goodness. This is so close to my story. It's
Oh
so
my god, this is weird.
yeah.
You know, it's even weirder. Like some of the tombs and shit,
Mm-hmm.
they kept them and they had someone like take care of them and decorate them.
Mm-hmm.
And they have them around the school's campus. And they have tombstones showcased lit up along the perimeter of the football field. So I'm like, that's dope. Like I saw a
Yeah.
picture of it during the day and I was like, that's sick.
That's actually pretty cool.
It like gave Halloween vibes all year. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could have went to a high school like that. Or
I know. I thought about you when I heard
yeah,
about that.
it's like nothing cool ever happened in my high school.
No. Which is also a weird connection to the next school I'm talking about. My high school and that school. But we'll get into that after this one
Okay.
and yours. But during these renovations in 2006, the school dug into bones and fucking religious artifacts that were buried with the bodies.
Damn.
Which I thought was crazy. Even in 2006, they're still digging up bones and artifacts from the cemetery. But it's really cool because the school honors their past by a couple of different things, like the tombstones, but also the school's mascot. They're the Phantoms.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But various workers at the school have heard and saw things, even feeling like presence at night. Cold spots near the senior patio have been reported. Also, in the yearbook and newspaper room, staff heard noises on the floor above them, even though they're the only ones in the school at that time.
Ooh.
So,
Creepy.
but to be fair, the yearbook / newspaper room used to be a chapel, and it even still contains the stained glass windows from the chapel.
Oh, wow.
And it's known to have a lot of negative fucking energy in that room.
You think it would be like more of a positive vibe than a negative, so that's weird.
That is weird, right? It's the chapel, so I don't know what went down that long ago, but or who's trapped there. You never know. But also this part was really weird to me that when it rains, there's one fucking spot on the football field that never gets wet.
What?
Ever. Yeah, it never gets wet, even when it's raining.
That's very interesting, very compelling. Did they have any like scientific explanation as to why, or they just have no
I didn't
idea?
really dig deeper into that. I just thought that's fucking really strange. How does that one section not get wet? I was like, is it turf? Is it a different type of grass? But that doesn't make sense. It all should be wet.
It still should be wet. Wonder if it's like someone's grave and like directly in that spot and it like won't get wet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I've seen you know, I've heard stories of like some graves, like the grass never growing on them, even though like the grave right next to it and all around it is
flourishing.
Yeah, and like a grave won't grow grass. So like that's interesting. I've never heard of a grave
not getting wet,
but that's interesting.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, it's really weird. That's really cool though.
But the last thing that I hate shit like this, so I'm going to end it on this one. But, you know, strange occurrences happen during theater productions that were held in the gym. Things have been reported that include a chair flying across the floor. And I don't do well with things flying or moving when no one touches it and there's no explanation for it. How did it move? Like that shit, just like doors shutting, chairs flying, cabinets. I don't like.
That's what I would want to catch if I was like investigating a place. Like if I caught that.
Well, then go to Cathedral High and go to their gym.
Yeah,
you'll see some shit.
I wish LA wasn't so damn far.
I know, it's across the country.
I'd be there in a heartbeat.
But that's my first one. Just,
That was a
bringing it
good
in a
one.
little light and easy. That's like the appetizer.
The appetizer before the main course.
Yeah,
All right,
you
well,
know.
we're gonna get into to my next one, my main course. All right, so we are back at Emory and Henry College, which we mentioned
Ooh,
in last week's episode.
we did, and I also know where that one is. I've
Yeah,
driven by that
that
one
one's
too.
actually even
So,
closer to where
mhm.
we're from than the Bristol,
What, 15
Tennessee.
minutes? 10,
Um,
15, depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are,
Glade
probably
or
like 10 minutes. Yeah, it doesn't take long. Emory and Henry College was founded in 1836, and it is actually the oldest college in Southwest Virginia, and it is the place of my first job ever.
yeah,
And
that's crazy.
yeah, and it's said to be extremely haunted. Honestly, I wish I knew more about this when I actually
Yeah, I'm
worked
like,
there.
did you even like feel anything? Did you have
Well, I
Are you going
did.
to talk about that?
When I worked on the campus, I actually spent most of my time there in the Van Dyke dining hall, and I never really saw anything like weird or a ghost or anything like that. But it was a really old building. I mean, the college was founded in 1836, so everything on the campus is pretty old.
Yeah.
It felt odd in certain places, but it never felt like negative. But it felt like sometimes, when someone's like behind you and you can like feel it. I felt that in that building, but it never felt negative.
Yeah. Felt
So
like somebody's watching me.
yeah, and I would be there early in the mornings and late at night sometimes. So it was just creepy anyway because it's an old building. Towards the last couple of years that I was there, so I didn't work for the college. I worked for Sodexo. Sodexo provided the dining services there.
Yeah.
So we were running out of storage space in the Van Dyke building where we put our catering stuff. We have a very small catering room, but we did a lot of catering on and off campus. So the college gave us some more storage space in the building next door. And I don't remember what that building was called. Um, it was like a dorm building, though. Upstairs, there were dorms, and they gave us some space downstairs. And whatever that building was, I will tell you, I never saw anything, but you walk over to that building, whole other feeling. Nobody wanted to go by themselves over there, whether it was daytime or nighttime. We'd be
Uh-uh.
we'd be there till really late at night, sometimes catering, and we'd have to take our catering stuff and put it back up over there because that's where we moved most of that stuff. And no one wanted to go alone. It was a whole different vibe over there. Like you go over there and it felt negative. It felt creepier.
Yeah, you could just
Mm-hmm.
sense it.
I don't know why. I don't know the history of that building because I can't remember the name for the life of me. And I might look more into it and share in a future episode because I really, when we started doing
Yeah.
this, I got to
Mm-mm.
thinking, I was like, I wonder if some shit went down in there. And that's what I was feeling.
Probably.
Yeah. So that was really the most experience that I had there as far as paranormal, and I mean if you can call that paranormal, but I mean
I mean, yeah, you picked up on energy.
I
So,
think so. I mean because the vibe over there was just not friendly, not cool.
yeah.
Outside of one of the buildings on campus, there's
Where
like
is it located? Did you say where the campus is located?
oh I thought I did Emory, Virginia.
I just didn't know if you said it or not.
I don't even know either, but
I
if
know
I
you said
didn't,
Emory and Henry.
Emory
And I
Henry
was like, ooh,
College
I know that one.
is in Emory, Virginia. Yeah, because there's also Emory University in
Mm-hmm.
Georgia. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, when I say Emory, they think that I'm talking about Emory University, and I'm like, no. Ooh, creepy siren.
Shit's going down out there. I told you it's storming.
Yeah, tree probably fell or something.
Yeah, it's been lightning and thundering.
Yeah. Well,
Creepy.
outside of one of the buildings on Emory and Henry College's campus, there is this hanging lamp, which
Mm-hmm.
is said to swing by itself even when the wind isn't blowing.
Oh, creepy.
It is said to be caused by the spirit of a man who was pushed out the window following an intense debate or argument of some kind. And on his way out the window, the man grabbed onto this lamp before he lost his grip and like fell and ultimately died.
That's awful.
Yeah. So people still see this lamp just swaying, and I was reading through and I found like people commenting on it, saying that they have seen this, some former students on some websites. So, and there would be like no wind.
That would freak me out. I would start running.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bye. You'd probably be like, ooh, I want to see.
Yeah,
Who
I
are
feel
you?
like,
EVP?
yeah, I whip out my recorder.
No thanks.
Are you the man that was pushed out the window? I don't know why I just had a British accent.
I know. I'm like, okay, if you want to do that, do it. Rock that shit.
Anyways, some I saw reports too when I was reading through people's stories, like personal experiences for the college. They said that there's this clock, I guess that you can hear on campus. This like bell, not bell tower, but clock tower kind of thing.
Yeah.
They said the bell. I've never been there. The latest I've been on campus is like 2 a.m.
Still too late.
So they said at 3 a.m. that the bells of this clock just have gone off, and like for no reason, and they can't figure out why it does that, and it just it periodically
that would
does
drive
that.
me crazy.
Yeah. So so that's creepy though at 3 a.m.
It is. No, thank you.
But there's also another ghost story attached to a woman who supposedly hung herself from the shower or possibly in a closet of one of the dorms. And
that's weird.
Yeah,
okay.
Again, I tried looking up like any reports of like finding a student. I don't know when this supposedly happened. Like the college again is pretty old, so like maybe there is not a record of it. Maybe it happened back in the day and it's just been a story that's been handed down, and that might explain why it may be a shower or a closet, because when you pass down stories, you tend to mess up some of the details. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's true.
But supposedly this woman hung herself in one of the dorms, and now water sometimes gushes from the walls or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so
that's some Harry Potter shit.
I know.
Like
Myrtle?
the weeping,
Myrtle.
Weeping is her.
I think it was
her
Myrtle.
name Weeping Myrtle.
Weeping Myrtle, something like
I don't
that.
know. She just cries and then like shit overflows.
Yeah. Whoa! I heard that one.
I'm not lying. I can't believe you haven't heard the others.
No, that one was loud. Ugh.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
I like storms when the power doesn't go out and I don't have to get
Same.
out.
I hope it doesn't, because we got a couple more to go.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Emory and Henry College also shut down during the Civil
War.
Civil War, and the campus was used as a hospital for wounded soldiers. So it's hard.
Oh, fuck that.
Right? Totally haunted, because it's hard to tell how many people died while being treated for their wounds. Plus,
exactly.
People could have died like nearby just from being like shot in the war.
Still just chilling.
Yeah, just hanging out on campus. Dead soldiers. But anyways, like knowing that fact like made me
haunted. Show.
Definitely haunted, yeah.
The house is shaking.
It's a ghost train.
Shh, don't put that out there on me.
But before I finish up with Emory and Henry, I have one more sad but sweet story.
Okay. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Their college has a graveyard on campus, which is kind of cool.
What? Oh my god.
So this goes back to like the 1850s. So there was a professor named James Davis, and he and his wife and their 6 children all lived in Byers Hall in the upstairs part. And downstairs, Professor Davis would teach some of the classes. Well, at some point during the 1850s, all six of his children fell ill from scarlet fever.
That fucking sucks.
Yes, because four of them sadly died from it.
Oh no.
Can you
Only
imagine
two
losing
remained.
four out of six kids?
No.
Like,
That would be rough.
huh.
I can't even imagine losing my cat.
Yeah, like, let alone four children.
Children, yeah.
So the children that passed away were the first to be buried in the campus cemetery, and there's a fence around like their graves because back in the day there used to be like a lot of cattle on campus, and the students would help raise the cattle and stuff, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. That is
Again,
cool.
we live in rural Virginia, farm town.
Yeah, country
Yeah.
life.
And so it makes sense that they were taking care
Yeah.
of cattle because there's still tons of cattle around the area. So
You gotta make sure you got your cattle money.
Gotta make sure that
Your beef, your milk,
yeah.
your cheese.
I also saw that like the students would like that's how they would eat too. Like they would help take care of the cattle, and that would also provide the meals for the students. So
that's how you grew up then.
Yeah, instead of having Sodexo do it.
Yeah. That's future shit.
Yeah. But that's why there's a fence. Like if you ever visit the cemetery, there's a fence around their graves, and it was to keep the cattle out. And the children's names were Mary, William, Albert, and Eugene. There is a little concrete pony that sits right at the foot of the children's graves.
Aww.
Yeah, and according to Emory Henry College's website, the pony was intended as a promise for the children who died too young. So it was like a promise pony for the
sweet.
kids. Yeah.
That's sad.
It's so sad. But if you think about it, if they were living in Byers Hall, they, when you get sick, you're not going to move them out of their house. So they probably also all died in Byers Hall.
Died there.
Yeah. So again, and they're still there on campus.
4 spirits at least.
Yeah. So
5 if you include the other guy. 6. It adds up.
Yeah. And then hard to
it
tell
could be
how
so
many
many
soldiers. And
with that's what I'm saying. I lost count when I started getting there.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things kind of going on or associated, attached to that campus. It has a lot of history. Yeah. It's been around a long time.
It's old.
It's very old. So, but that's all I got on that one. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. So my next one, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, is Berry College, which is in my new home state, Georgia. I looked it up and it says Mount Berry, Georgia and Rome, Georgia, so it's probably in Rome or near Rome. I don't know. But Berry College is a private 4-year liberal arts college. And it was founded in 1902 by Martha Berry, hence the name. Mm-hmm. It's also been named one of the country's up-and-coming liberal arts schools, and today there's about 2,000 students that attend Berry College. But it's known as the world's largest campus, so...
Really?
Yeah.
So they got a lot of land?
Yes, shit ton. I thought it was really cool when I was doing research that Berry College has been used for a lot of filmings. Like... Really? Sweet Home Alabama.
Ooh, I like that one.
Remember the Titans.
They filmed that there?
Yeah. Have you watched a TV show called The Following?
No.
They filmed that there too. And something called Perfect Harmony.
I haven't heard of that either.
But were you gonna say something about Remember the Titans?
Yeah, wasn't it based on a school in Virginia? Because I think that's funny because we keep finding like these connections.
I think so, but I can't remember. I watched the movie so many times, but
I know, I can't either. But if it is, that's so weird. We keep finding all these connections between
you should Google it.
Georgia. I'll Google it. Hang on.
Google like what schools Remember the Titans based off of, and then just type in what school was Remember the Titans filmed, and see if I got correct information or if I
Okay.
was
Remember the Titans, based on true story of T.C. Williams High School in Alexandria, Virginia. Boom. I knew it was Virginia because I love that movie, but it's been a while since I've seen it. And then, hang on.
look up where it was
Where?
filmed to make sure I didn't get duped.
Berry College in Rome, Georgia. Etowah High School in Woodstock, and in
Oh
Atlanta,
my
Georgia,
god.
including Henry Grady High School and Druid Hills High School. Used to live in
Oh my
Druid
god.
Hills.
I know
um,
all these places.
so I guess,
That's insane.
yeah, they filmed, let's see, practice scenes. They even did practice scenes at Clarkston High School in Clarkston, Georgia. So I guess they filmed at a lot of different places. But yeah, Berry College was the first thing that popped up.
Popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you watch good old Stranger Things,
Mm-hmm. I love Stranger
the
Things.
the Penhurst Mental Hospital was filmed at Barry as well.
No way. We need to go
Yeah.
there. Rome, Georgia is not far from your house.
And you know what else? The Creel house where Vecna lives
Uh-huh.
is also located not far from Barry College.
Oh, that is my dream motherfucking house. I want that
Mm-hmm.
house. It is that's
It's in
that's what I
Rome,
want.
Georgia too.
That house is gorgeous.
But also, recently, Tyler Perry filmed some scenes for his Netflix production called 6888 in March of 2023. So I think that might have been the last most recent thing filmed there since it was March of this year.
That's pretty cool. It seems pretty active
It
for
is.
filming. That's awesome.
But also, when I was researching all that, my computer froze. And I wrote my computer just froze. So that's dope. Because I was typing about the hauntings at Barry College have been nicknamed Scary Barry.
Scary Berry.
That's what they call it. Scary Barry.
Hashtag Scary Berry. I like that.
But the first thing that I'm going to talk about is probably the most talked about thing. And it's, I think, called Seven Bridges Road. It's weird shit. Like, when you cross, you can count 7 bridges, but on your way back, you can only count 6. So it's like, where did the one go?
Is it just like the way your point of view is, like when you're driving?
I don't know. But it's weird because that road is famous for leading to the Mountain Springs Church. And that church has a reputation for being used by cult worshippers in the 1960s.
Ooh,
Due
cults,
to the
crimes,
fact
and
that
spirits.
yes,
Right up our
due
alley.
to a fact that a witch is supposedly buried in that cemetery. Because guess what? There's a fucking cemetery near the fucking college.
Well, again, mirroring like Emory having a cemetery
Yeah,
in this place.
that's why when you're like, cemetery, I was like, oh my god,
That's
really?
crazy. But a witch?
Yeah, a witch. And it made cult leaders come to the church and do like worships and things there.
Wow. That's gotta have some negative energy.
Yeah, because the iron gates of the churchyard entrance reportedly slammed violently and unexpectedly on a car parked within, like, it just like started slamming on the car.
And you said they're made of iron, so
Yeah.
that's heavy. That ain't gonna just move.
And that happened in the 1980s, and it totaled it while the passengers were like in the graveyard looking for that witch's grave. So like no one was in the car, but the car was parked, and the gates just like fucked it up. It totaled their car.
And there's no way like wind would do that with iron gates.
No way.
That's
get this.
Cool.
That church is still in use to this day.
People still go to churches, so they go there.
One day a month by a non-denominational congregation.
I was about to say, is it like a Christian church that's active? Because I was like, you think that would keep the negative energy out, but one day a month by a non-denominational.
But on that road in the cemetery, you can hear strange footsteps, crying, and organ music.
Ooh. We need to go there. Scary Barry.
There's so much more, dude. Ooh. So there's also a road that's in between the new campus and the old campus. Mm-hmm. And on that road, a girl was ran over by her boyfriend's car. And if you go there and call upon her, she apparently shows up as a green, glowing kind of light seen at the spot where she died on the road.
Damn. So like when you said like she was ran over by his car, was it like did
I
he?
don't know if it was him. All I could find out was it was the boyfriend's car. So I'm assuming it might have been him,
Yeah,
but
but it could have been like something ghostly, like.
yeah, paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the school, there's a tower that's between the East and the West Mary dorms,
Mm-hmm.
which is haunted. So there's stories that a girl hung herself in the tower.
Wait,
Yeah, just
another.
like what you
That
said.
is so weird.
I know. And it was unfortunately days before anyone found her.
Oh damn.
So people that go into the tower, they, feel that sudden, very intense cold feeling
Mm-hmm.
that you feel when spirits are present.
Yeah,
And they hear the sound of a woman crying.
that's sad.
So the room that she like hung herself in is now locked, but you can go up to the door. So they don't have it like that blocked, but they have the door shut and like locked.
Mm. They don't want anybody else going in there and repeating
Mhm.
what she did.
But this one is fucking creepy and it gives me chills. So some visitors and students that walk by the horse trails near the watermill, subtly they start being followed by a man.
Mm.
This man just starts following them. And when they look at him, all he does is glare and then he fucking vanishes.
Oh, oh.
Like, what the fuck? He's just following you and then you like look and he like fucking glares and he's gone.
That would be creepy.
I don't like that. Fucking ugh. But you remember how I said the founder of Berry College is Martha Berry?
Mm-hmm. I think you said Mary. Maybe you did say Martha.
Yeah, I think it's Martha. Let me go back up because I'm pretty sure.
I think
If
you
I
did.
said Mary,
I
it's a
think you did say
Martha.
Martha. Maybe I
Yeah,
was.
it's a
Yeah.
Martha. But so that's the founder of Berry College. She's reported to haunt the Hodge building and the Oak Hill, which was her former house. And they turned her former house now into a museum, and it's reported that that is also extremely haunted.
So I have new goals. I really want to go investigate there.
Well, good for you because Berry College also even does haunted history tours where you can walk the wooded
Oh,
trails and you can learn the history of the hauntings.
heck yeah.
And do you remember how I said earlier in this episode that um this school is kind of connected to my high school?
Yeah.
So, have you seen or heard of the Hulu true crime documentary called Betrayal about
Yes. I haven't
yeah.
watched it, but I know what you're talking about because your teacher, or one of the teachers that
Yeah,
taught
it
it in
was one of
school.
the his name was Spencer Heron and he was a former Berry College graduate.
No way. And then he taught
He
at your.
taught video, yeah, he taught video production at my high school and then he got in trouble for sexual harassment and all kinds of crazy stuff and now there's a Hulu documentary on him. I walked by him almost every day going to my graphic arts class cuz he would stand outside his front door and I had to walk by it to like turn to go down to my graphic arts class.
That's crazy. I've
So it's weird to watch that.
Yeah, I really want to
And
watch it. It's on my list because I've seen a lot of people talking about that.
yeah, and I know people that have said, "Oh, he said creepy shit to me every year," or he would say this, or he would do that. So, like, I know people.
Yeah, that's crazy though. The connection. This episode is eerily connected to a lot of different things.
Well, the last thing that's fucking crazy, I was talking to my mom the other day because our moms listen to our episodes. They're
Yeah,
probably our biggest
they
fans.
support us.
So she was like, "What's next week episode?" And I was telling her, and I was telling her the schools I picked, and I was like, "I'm doing Berry College," and she was like, our neighbor, because my parents bought their house fucking
Like 20 years ago.
20, yeah, 20 plus years ago, and they've had the same neighbors pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, he taught at Berry College for a very, very long time."
Wow.
And I was gonna try to like talk to him and see if he could like do an interview if anything haunted happened,
Mm-hmm.
but his wife unfortunately just passed away like a week or two ago, so I
Oh,
didn't want
that's
to really
that
like.
neighbor. Oh man,
And I think she went to Berry College too.
that is really sad.
So I wanted to like at least mention that, you know.
Yeah.
He went there. He taught there for a very long time. I'm sure he has some stories, but
Yeah. But yeah, not a good time for an interview.
Yeah, we could look up Barry haunted trail. I don't know if I would want to do it because the graveyard sounds fucking
I
creepy.
want to do it. I'd be so in. I cannot wait.
Well, we can look more into that for sure.
My final high school, onto the dessert, is
Yes.
Lee Williams High School.
Dun dun dun.
The Ghost Adventure crew, Zach Bagans, the Ghost Adventure crew actually recently traveled to Lee Williams High School, located in Kingman, Arizona, in season 25, episode 21, which I think was the previous season from what's airing now. And the episode's titled The Lost Souls of Kingman, if you want to check it out. And they caught some pretty compelling evidence, including a lot of disembodied voices.
Oh no.
And there's also this school, like, they're like interviewing the principal, and they're in the library, and they stop and they're like, "Is that a coffin?" They just have like a coffin. It's like a wooden, like an old wooden coffin in their
What the hell?
library on display. Yeah, kind of cool, but kind of odd. And a lot of the students and teachers there report like doors slamming like right in their face, them getting locked in rooms, not being able to get out when no one else is
Nope,
around.
nope, nope.
Yeah, so a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Um, and
Pretty active, I would say.
yeah, and it's still like, a lot of the times these shows go to like abandoned places. This school is still in
It's
operation.
still active?
Yeah, it's not an
Dang.
abandoned school. So
Ah, even creepier.
yeah. So on July 5th, 1973, 11 firefighters and a civilian were killed when a railroad car carrying propane caught fire and exploded in Kingman, Arizona.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so Richard Lee Williams was one of the volunteer firemen that was killed, and he was the principal of Kingman High School at the time. And after his death, the school was renamed after him, so it's now Lee Williams High School. And when the Ghost Adventure crew was there, they actually caught the word 11 that came across one of their devices. And like 11
Mm-mm.
firemen were killed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, just wanted to throw that out there because there's a tragic event associated with like the town and the school, because
Mm-hmm.
the former principal that the school is now named after was involved. So this particular high school was also built atop a abandoned cemetery.
No way.
Yeah,
Another one?
yeah. This is the
Seems like
one.
that's a trend.
Yeah, this is the one that I felt like was connected to your first one. So
Hmm. Cathedral.
yeah, the Pioneer Cemetery was the main cemetery in the town. You
Pioneer Cemetery.
Pioneer Cemetery, used by the residents that lived there from like about 1900 to 1917. And there were even Native American graves there from the Halalupe tribe. And in 1917, another cemetery opened up called Mountain View Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they began a process of like moving, kind of like what you said, where they moved the bodies. So I guess that was a common thing. Like there's like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
yeah, like move bodies to another cemetery instead of just
Like
leaving
it's
them put.
nothing.
Yeah. So they moved the bodies from Pioneer Cemetery to Mountain View Cemetery, but the people that were moving the bodies were charging families like $45 a pop, which in today's money would be like $600.
That's a lot.
Yeah, especially when you think like I already buried my loved one. They probably already had to pay
Now
like,
I have to pay to get them to be moved? Are
yeah,
you kidding
yeah.
me?
So basically, a
It's not
lot.
my fault they're moving them.
Exactly.
Like,
It's just like I picked to put them there, leave them there.
exactly.
But which, I mean, if they didn't pay, the bodies did get left there, and then things were built on top. And in 1944, the Pioneer Cemetery was officially abandoned. So whoever was left there was left, and they were just gonna be there.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Because what if you could not get that amount of money? Like, what if you
Yeah.
tried so hard?
And what if like they didn't have anyone to contact? like no
Yeah,
relative.
like no
Yeah, then they should have just moved the body. But then at the
yeah,
same
for
time,
free.
like the reason I mentioned Native Americans is, burials usually, any kind of burial for anybody is usually sacred. You think that's where you're going to be for all eternity. But with Native Americans, it's a really sacred thing. And I just wonder if they made any effort to be respectful of like moving the Native American bodies as well. And
Probably not.
probably not. And the cemetery, so Lee Williams High School, it was, they had an old high school, and then they recently, like in the past 10, 10, 15 years, built the new one. And
Okay.
back
Is
in,
it
huh,
on the old site or is it near the old one?
like really like right
Close
near,
by.
yeah, where the other one was. And back in 2010, during construction on the new Lee Williams High School, construction workers found human remains. Um, and according to the miner, workers with core construction were digging a trench for the sewer line on what used to be the southern end of the football field, like when it was the old school, like the football field. And when they began unearthing bone fragments,
Nope.
pieces of wood, and what was possibly a brass handle from a casket.
Nope. Get the fuck out of there. Time to leave.
The director of construction said officials were aware of the cemetery's existence and they were told to stop work if they unearthed any remains.
Good.
Yeah, they had the medical examiner on hand and would move any remains found to a new final resting place.
As they should, respectfully.
Yeah, but I thought that was crazy similar to yours, like the
It
moving the
is. That's so
bodies. It's like,
weird. Yeah, like what?
yeah.
We have so many similarities in
And
our schools and they're so different and in different
yeah,
places.
yeah. And like this school also, you said something about bodies being found like in the football field
Yeah.
and stuff. And this is where they found in the
Same.
old football field from the old Lee Williams High School when they were building the new one. That's where they found the
That's
bodies
crazy.
or the human remains.
Ah,
Yeah.
creepy.
Uh-huh. So the school's construction was eventually finished, so it didn't delay things too much because the school is
They
now
got her
open.
done.
Yeah. I think it opened in like 2012, 2011, 2012. And so, aside from being built on a cemetery, the school is
Hmm.
also supposedly haunted by a shadow man who can be seen wearing a boiler hat, a large, long coat, and it is believed that this man could be the
Mm-mm.
spirit of a guy named Clement C. Lee, who shot and
Creepy
killed
ass name.
Clement. Clement's creepy. Creepy Clement.
Pretty much, fucking creepy Clement came over the other day and fucking pulled some bullshit.
uh, well, creepy Clement, he supposedly shot and killed his girlfriend, Jenny,
Yep,
in the streets of Kingman in 1905. Like,
that's
he,
some
yeah,
bullshit.
I was reading the story and, like, I think she operated, like, a saloon or something like that. Is a saloon where the prostitutes would be? Or is that just a bar?
I think they might be upstairs.
I don't know. I don't know if she was involved with that, but it was like a bar or something, and I think
Yeah.
she owned it or something. And this guy, they were dating or whatever, and I don't know. I think he started shooting her in the building, shot at her, and she ran outside, and he continued to shoot her. People said she begged for her life, and
Oh,
he like eventually walks up to her because she's still
and
alive,
just fucking shoots her ass.
shoots her in the head. Yeah. So it was like brutal. It wasn't just like it
Yeah,
was like he intended to kill her.
to kill her.
But
Yeah,
it's okay cuz he was hung for his crime.
they both probably haunt.
Yeah, Jenny and Clement were buried in the old Pioneer Cemetery and their
Of course
bodies
they were.
are still there. I guess they were not part of the removal process. So yeah, it probably is him and he's haunting the school. because he's a psycho.
Yeah, creepy Clement.
Creepy Clement. Students and teachers also report hearing disembodied voices of what sounds like a young girl. And whenever they do see spirits, they say that they're wearing like period clothing that would fit that time period. But yeah, that's Lee Williams High School.
Damn, creepy.
Yeah.
All these have been creepy.
I want to go to a haunted high school. Like shit.
Yeah.
I'm sad now. What? Watch me do research and find out my high school is also
Yeah,
haunted.
for real.
No,
some weird shit.
I don't think it is. If it was,
I don't know. It's old as fuck.
It's old, but nothing really creepy ever happened there.
Well, I was gonna do my dessert as El Paso High School in El Paso, Texas, but the more I kept doing research, I was like, this could be a whole episode.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna briefly talk about some things. It's considered to be one of the top haunted high schools in America.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing we knew in common was the mysterious girl from the photo.
Yeah, that photo.
Which if we do an episode on it, we can do more on like who she could be and like the photo and all that.
Mm-hmm. That photo is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, but there's also like weird stuff like a fallout tunnel, which we can do more info on, and how it's like creepy.
Yeah,
and
I didn't know any of this other stuff.
Ghosts that are in the gym and some weird shit that people find that are hidden in stairs, some sealed off rooms, the Jones Stadium, which is like their football stadium. So there's a lot of creepy shit. So I think I'm gonna actually save some of this research for just us doing an episode on it in the future.
This episode was really fun, like doing research on all these haunted places. So
it was.
I
like kept going.
Yeah.
I did like my first two and I was like, I'm gonna pick another one.
Yeah.
And then I was like stuck on this one for so long and I was like,
yeah, this needs to be its own episode.
I was like, the other two I got done and I was like, okay, cool. I could have probably dove a little deeper into those, but this one has so many pictures and they made me get goosebumps and I was like, all right, I don't want to look at this anymore. We'll save this one for the future. Because nice. There's so many sightings.
Yeah. Stay tuned because it probably won't be till maybe we're thinking November, but in November we're probably going to do
that'll be here before you know it because it's almost September.
Yeah, it will be. So we're probably going to do a whole episode on El Paso High School.
Yeah, we definitely need to because there's mist and like goo coming out of walls and stuff. It's weird. Yeah. But thank you guys for listening.
Yes. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our first venture into haunted schools because we're going to be doing more.
Yeah. And we might even try to do that tour. I don't know if I'll go, but maybe Nina and Drew
I will make Andrea go.
I get scared. I'm like,
we gotta go Scary Barry.
Scary Barry. On that note, we did the damn thing.
Stay spooky.